I'm Patrick Britz, and here's your SAC Daily Dose for Monday, March 12, 2018, and here's what's happening today. First up, we are down to the Sweet 16 in both men's and women's basketball NCAA tournaments, and Carson-Newman will play North Georgia tonight in Jefferson City for a chance to advance to the Elite Eight, and LMU and Queens will square off tomorrow night in Harrogate for the men's regional title. The top-seeded Eagles advanced to the regional final for the first time since 2005 with a strong second-half performance against number 4-seeded Lander on Saturday. Kayla Marisites was the star as she poured in 31 points, including 6 three-pointers. SAC tourney MVP Micah Wester added 19, and Tori Griffin and Katie Stubblefield also scored in double digits. As I said earlier, Carson-Newman will play number 3-seeded North Georgia, who knocked off number 2 Wingate in the regional semifinals 78-75. In a game that was nip and tuck from the beginning, neither team was able to take control. The Nighthawks prevailed thanks to a last-second 25 or 30-foot heave. It wasn't a shot, it was a heave by Amber Schedule after Wingate had erased a 4-point deficit in the last 28 seconds. Tough loss for Wingate, but congrats on a great season, ladies. Tonight's game is scheduled for 7 p.m. in Holt Fieldhouse, and I will be in attendance, so if you want to come by and say hi, I would love to chat with you. The men's regional final tomorrow night will be the third verse, same as the first, and second. For the third straight year, the Southeast Regional will be contested by 2 schools from the South Atlantic Conference, and for the second consecutive year, those schools will be LMU and Queens. This will be the third meeting in 3 weeks between the 2 schools, and 4th time they've played this year. LMU has won all 3 thus far in 2017-18, but Queens will be looking to advance to its first ever Elite Eight in school history. Both teams had relatively easy games in yesterday's second round, with the Royals taking out UNC Pembroke 75-63 and LMU dismantling Clayton State 87-61 in a game the Rail Splitters led by 43 points at one time. Queens was led by guards Jalen Alexander and Mike Davis, who each put in 18, while Todd Withers and Sean Willett chipped in 11 and 10 points, respectively. Withers also collected 10 boards and had 4 block shots. LMU was led by Trayvon Shaw's 26 points, which included 8 trays, and SAC Player of the Year Emmanuel Terry added 19 points and 13 rebounds. SAC Tournament MVP Dorian Pinson scored 19 points and collected 4 steals, while Cornelius Taylor also chipped in 14 points. The game time tomorrow at Tex Turner Arena will be 7 p.m., and again, I will be there, so would love to chat with any of you who want to come by and say hi. The NCAA Indoor Track Nationals took place over the weekend, and 10 SAC student-athletes earned first-team All-America honors, highlighted by Tanner Stepp of Carson-Newman's first-place finish in the men's high jump. Stepp cleared 2.17 meters in his final jump to take home the gold. We'll put a link of the video to his winning jump in the description below. Congratulations, Tanner. Venetia Wilshire of Wingate placed third in the women's high jump with a mark of 1.74, and Wichard Guerville of Tusculum took home 4th place in the men's 60-meter dash, while Coker's Darnisha Lott also finished 4th in the women's 800 meters. In the team standings, Carson-Newman was the top SAC men's team finisher, tied for 20th, and Wingate was the top women's team, tied for 32nd. You can find full results and recaps on our homepage, thesac.com. Finally today, the spring sports continue to heat up despite the cold and rainy weather today. And over the weekend, Wingate swept Mars Hill in baseball to take the outright lead in the standings at 7-2, and Anderson swept Coker to jump into the top 6 in the standings at 5-4. Lenore-Rhine took 2 of 3 from Newberry, Catawba did the same to Carson-Newman, and LMU won the series over Tusculum. Player and pitcher of the week for baseball will be announced tomorrow. Conference play began in both men's and women's lacrosse over the weekend, and the big matchup this weekend was on the men's side as number 6 in the nation, Lenore-Rhine, took down Wingate 13-11 in a tight battle. Catawba, LMU, and Tusculum all earned opening conference wins as well. In women's lacrosse, LR improved to 2-0 in the SAC with a 15-8 win over Wingate, and Catawba won its first league game of the year with a win over Newberry. The players of the week in both men's and women's lacrosse will be announced later today. Men's and women's tennis will start playing mostly conference matches this week, and the SAC softball season opens up this Saturday. Now for everyone's favorite part of the show, the famous sports quote. Over the weekend, I watched the 30 for 30 on the 1983 NC State Wolfpack that had the magical run to the NCAA title that year. In honor of that, today's quote is from the head coach of that team, the late Jim Valvano. I asked a ref once if he could give me a technical foul for thinking bad things about him. He said, of course not. So I said, well, I think you stink. He gave me a technical, proving that you can't trust him. You can find links to all the stories I discussed in the description below and more on our homepage, thesac.com. Make sure you give us a thumbs up by liking the video, and please share it with your family and friends. Also, feel free to leave a comment or two, as we love to get the feedback. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. That's going to do it for me today, as I need to get on the road to Carson-Newman. Be sure to join us again for the next installment of the SAC Daily Dose on Wednesday. Have a great week, everyone.